Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm finally getting out after about a week. Yeah, it was too cold, and because of that weird health condition I figured out that it's body temperature that was causing these excruciating aches. It wasn't pains, it was aches. And the longest that I actually timed, I didn't time them all, was an hour and a half. No. But I figured it out. It's body temperature, and it's a learning, and once I've figured it out, I had to learn how do I handle it as far as, after that, and I just didn't want to chance it and go out. You can see we have a little snow left over. It was 50 degrees yesterday. Today it's saying, my SUV's saying 51. So still got all this ice under the trees and all that in the neighborhood. And right at the end of my road, that's all they had. And basically, I could feel a little slide. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't expecting this because yesterday it was 50 degrees. So, okay, now you're going to come around and knock me out. Thank you, but you did. Oh, look at all this ice right here. Oh my. Anyway, the sun is so bright. I had to put on my transition lenses, glasses. They're old, and so seriously, it's so bright, that bright. Anyway, well, I'm gonna go get us something to eat. We didn't cook. My biggest stress of the past 2.5, he says 2.5 years, is on an airplane back to her country. I didn't say state, I said country. And that chapter is closed, hopefully. And she pulled a big old stunt. Yeah, she's been doing it, but mainly last night. She knows I have chemical allergies. I've told her repeatedly. I told her actually it was more than once, that I have severe chemical allergies, perfume, and it could kill me. And you can bet what she did. And she tried I figured it out after I went outside. Adam jumped all over her, and we asked her what she did. I thought she was denying it, that she did anything, but what she basically was saying was like, well, she didn't spray anything. You see, she just dabbed a little perfume on her wrist to see if she really wanted to take that back with her. It was no dab, just a little bit, no little bit of nothing, anything. It was a whole lot. It stunk up the whole house. And with chemical allergies, okay? Okay, I turned it off right there because that bridge, and there was a car, the big SUV next to me that just flew across it, and I was like, hopefully you don't slide, man. And I know it's 50 degrees, sun out bright like this. You would think. But no, I've already seen all that ice. Okay. Anyway, nothing happened at least. But you don't know. See, I actually have slid across a bridge. There was no warning that there was a bridge. It was over a little creek. And it was in the evening. It wasn't even dark. It was still bright outside. And years and years ago, back like 20 years ago. And I was in a big Pathfinder SUV. And I drove across it not knowing that there was a bridge there, and certainly no warning that there was ice. And it wasn't that cold. And sure enough, it slid. Luckily, somehow I knew how to handle it. I have no idea why, I'm Texan, but and I got safe across the bridge, and I was on my cell phone at the time, And I wound up throwing the cell phone on the floor, and you know, and okay, that looks. You can't tell. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to, you know, fly across these bridges when there's ice still in neighborhoods and all that. Anyway, no matter what. But anyway, that time when I flew across that bridge, slid across the bridge, the other people on the other side, they didn't fare so well. Nope, not at all. They crashed. So, they're going on the other side, going the other direction. Boy, this sun is so hot. You wouldn't believe on me. I'm serious. It's just so hot. Wow. In the other lane. But, yeah, it's burning up in here. Anyway, I have somehow today I woke up and one of my eyes seems to be scratched. You know, just like it's scratched. And that's irritating, trying to drive with a scratched eye. But, I mean, I have the other one. Anyway, just a lot of complaints here. But anyway, the troublemaker, she's a 31-year-old woman. 31. And she would act like a rebellious teenager. Came into our home 2.5 years ago. She wasn't there the whole 2.5 years. She had her own apartment. She went to the university. She was working on a master's program. She had a university apartment. You know, had a job there, all that, and she screwed it up. She messed up. She got basically kicked out. All three of those, and she had to come back and stay with us. And then Adam got to the point where he couldn't handle her anymore, and he used me as a scapegoat as usual. And said that, you know, my health, you know, I was having health issues. And I think some of my health issues may have simply been due to the stress of this woman. She really, honestly, I'm not afraid of people. I really wasn't, I can't say really afraid of her. At the same time, I did not trust her. I think she had the potential to, I know she had the potential to. She did it to somebody. To really wreak havoc in somebody's life just so she can get her way on something else. Totally psycho kind of thing to do, or socio. Yeah. Okay, what's going on here? And seriously, you're sitting there waiting to go, and people are looking over to see what that woman's selling. What? You know, I'm waiting to go. Okay, I'll have to wait for them to move. She's going to sit there and see what the woman's selling. And then the next one did the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. People, come on. You know, think about others around you. You can get that leads me back to this. This young woman, she did not think about anybody but herself. Seriously. I mean, he would get so angry at her and yell at her. You know, I heard him yelling at her one time, "You're the most self-centered person I know." But nothing fazed her because she felt like that's what she's entitled to do what she wants to do in our home. Okay, I don't know what happened, but there I was in the drive-thru. And why does it always happen this way? Not always. This last 2 times I've been in this Long John Silver's. They just fixed it all up, made a new one. But today and then the last time, somebody calls me right when I'm in the drive-thru, you know. And it's like, really? I mean, what are the odds? There was no time in between, but back to back. The first one was a doctor's office, or cardiologist, I think. And this time it was Adam. And I'm talking to him, all of a sudden it hangs up. And he hasn't called back. He probably got a call from his sister, the one whose daughter, 31-year-old daughter, that we did not invite 2.5 years ago. We did not invite her. So we weren't asked. Nobody spoke to us until she was on the plane. Yeah, that's when they decided to tell us that she was on her way to stay with us. until she got her own place. I think she was there like a month or a little over a month. She was a holy terror. She was 27, turned 28 or something like that. Holy terror. I mean, and she's this woman, you know, the niece. She looks like a model. She could be a model. Tall, right kind of curves and everything. And she looks like sweet, and she talks like she's real sweet, and she acts humble and like she's showing deference, like she's real shy and all this stuff. So people would assume, okay, she's nice and sweet, and you know, she never do anything wrong. But if, like I've said in another video for a different channel, yeah, I stood by her next to her one time when she does that thing of showing deference. Is what she's doing is, you know, like she lowers her head. Is she saying what she really feels? Think of if someone said, "You bleep and bleep," when they did that. You know, like totally opposite of her you know, character that she puts out to the public. Yeah, it's kind of under her breath, and she just doesn't know that she's speaking it out loud. You know, that kind of thing. And I mean, seriously, I could go on and on about some of the things she did. So one of them, especially one of them, besides trying to, you know, what would you call it if you tell somebody, this could kill me, literally could kill me, and they do it anyway, repeatedly. Seriously. Yeah, I know what I would call it. Attempted, you get it. And so I'm happy. I am totally happy she's gone. You know, just totally. But Adam, you know, he was so angry all this 2.5 years, 3 years. You know, he said 2.5. So angry and everything, didn't like her. You know, she wasn't with us, like I said, but when he would think about her, he gets so angry about what all happened. We didn't invite her, so on and so forth. It's just her being such a horrible person, you know. And then he's all sad that she's left. He's real sad. Okay. And I was telling him when he was talking to me, I said, you know, I said it's a puzzle, but you know, makes me you know, curious, but not at the same time, because it's known that some people who they have somebody that's in their life, family, and you know, it's not everybody does this, but some do, and that person's caused them so much trouble. But when the person's, whatever relationship or whatever, it doesn't have to be family, when it's over, they miss that person, or they're sad that it's over, or you know, all this stuff. And that's not too surprising. And that's when the phone hung up. But he was answering me. He said, yeah. And then boom, the phone went off. Like I said, it probably was either she or her mother, which is his sister. Like I said earlier, they probably called him or Skyped him. And he pushed, you know, he got nervous and just pushed the button. But I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm keeping my mouth shut, because I want to say, did you realize? You know, here's my food. Okay, well, that was sweet of him. I told him, I said, you know, he's the guy at the drive-through. And I told him, I said, last time they forgot our shrimp. And I said, can you make sure they don't forget this time? And he said, sure. And he brought it out, and he said, I gave you, extra shrimp this time because of what they did to make up for it. Well, the thing is, I called him when I got home. I didn't tell him that because, you know, it's a long thing to say. A long, you know, I just told him, just make sure that they don't forget. Because last time we got home and I saw that they had forgotten our shrimp, and that was the big part of the meal. $30, almost $30 for 2 meals. And the main thing was the shrimp, and they forgot it. I mean, in 2 meals, both meals. So I went back, Adam and I went back, and they gave us a free meal. You know, I called and they said, yeah, just come back and we'll give you your meal. And so we went back, and the next day, I think it was, and got the meal. whenever it was, later that week, I don't know. And anyway, that was sweet of him. Ooh, that was slick, a little bit slick under that. But anyway, so, and I had started making a series when his sister, this woman's mother, she had come to visit, like 8 years ago. I think October would have been 8 years, and she was in the country for 6 months, about 6 months. She visited, the main place was our place, and then she went to the 2 other brothers. One lived in a different state, and you know, she'd go and stay with that brother for a while, and then she went to the other brother's house, just, you know, wreaking havoc wherever she went, just like her daughter, you know, the niece. And oh man, just those memories. I forgot where I was going with this, because it was not, none of this was good. And I've always wondered, who was the person, I haven't always wondered, I figured it out. Who was the person or the people in that family that caused so much problem? And one was the sister, and you know how they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Well, she didn't fall far from that part of the tree. That part of the family tree. The niece and her mother, Adam's sister. No, I called her when I was doing this series about it. I was calling it Not My Circus, Not My Monkeys, because that's the attitude I decided to have. And I called his sister, Tara the Terrible. Real mature back then. That's what I called his brother, Dennis the dentist. Dennis the dentist. He is a dentist. And I had funny names for people, but yeah, like I said, real mature back then. So, anyway, but this is what I've been through with this family. His family is just, I mean, mine, I am purposefully, my choice, I said the words, I've said it back in 2012, Christmas time 2012, estranged from them. There's been some contact here and there, but this last time, last year, that was it. You know, just they think that they work their way back into your life and stuff like that. But really, honestly, my family is not as bad as his. And these are people who seem, like I say, dentists and engineers, doctors, and all this stuff. And it doesn't matter. We all know that. I'm a social behavioral scientist. It really doesn't matter. It's just that the world will see them in a different light. When it comes down to it, it's the same old crap. You know. But the stuff I've been through, some of it is just so unbelievable. And stuff I've heard, you know, is hearsay. You know, but what I've heard that she did or the other ones did, it's like, who are these people? Who raised these people? But I did tell Adam something, and last night I was sitting out in the car because I couldn't breathe. I was having breathing problems because she dabbed perfume on her. It was so unbelievably strong, and he was coughing, and he just doesn't want to admit that he too can't handle it. And he's got a strange loyalty to that family. It's not really strange. Yeah, I understand it. I've done, you know, I know enough of, so yeah, I understand it. And but I was sitting outside, and when he came and got me, it was dark and cold. I was sitting outside in my SUV with the heater on, of course, and making a video, and he came outside to get me to come back inside to see if it was, you know, if it aired out enough. And I told him, I said, you know, you got to find a silver lining to these kinds of things. And I already thought about this the day before, and I didn't. In my mind, I knew she was going to do this crap. You know, some kind of crap to say she's boss. You know, I knew it. I knew she would do something like that. And she'd already been doing a little bit of the perfume here and there, and then smirking. You know, okay, people, you might want to go fast. I'm in the slow lane. There's another lane over there. I'm going 32 and it's a 40. Okay, so but I don't trust the bridge. Anyway, then nobody's really on my tail. They're going slow too. Imagine that. Seriously, people not tailgating. Wow. But anyway, when he came out there to get me, I was losing my voice like I'm losing it now. But he came out to get me. I said, well, you got to find silver lining to this kind of stuff. And I said, one thing that will carry, I said, my name will just carry on, and all about me will carry on from generations to come. And I told him, I said, think about it. Because his mother, which is his sister's mother too, you know, all of his brothers, she went around, putting her hand on her head and saying, oh, she was so mistreated, playing the victim. She was so mistreated by their, it was basically the set of cousins, one family and all that. Oh, she was so mistreated by them. And then her daughter, you know, his sister, she was so mistreated by one of their cousins. And now it's going to be, can you believe that American woman told me I can't do what I want to do? I'm going to be for generations to come. Because they still talk about him. They still talk about, oh, yeah, that person was so bad to her. You know, the ones that do evil and play the victim. They do wrong. They're not adult enough to say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, unless it serves them to do so. She had nothing to lose. So she wasn't going to tell me she was sorry. She instead, as we come back, well, when Adam came out there, he says, she's upstairs crying. She had already turned it around to where she was the victim. You know, she was the victim. Oh, cry. Oh. This is nothing new. It's scripted. I had been telling Adam, before any of this, before I knew that she was going to do it, I had been telling him this pattern with these people like this is so scripted. It's like you're reading off of a script. They are. You know what's next. You know, not all of them do the same thing. So, run, squirrely. Don't come back. I don't want to hit you. But it's all scripted. They do the same thing. They cause the problem, then they play the victim. They tell everybody, oh, they're the victim. They're the victim. And there's going to be a group that's going to believe them, you know, be on their side, and they're going to make sure they tell everybody in the world. And if the people aren't on their side, then the people are just haters. You know, something along that line. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.